Hello, hello, my friends. I have another dedicated candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about Caramel Sunday's Summer Sorbet. Now, unfortunately, this candle is not available this summer. Caramel Sundays has a little bit different business model than some of the other candle companies that I review from. They do basically a monthly restock. They offer certain fragrances in each of those restocks. Some fragrances they will offer a couple of months in a row, but as of the time that I'm filming this in June of 2025. This month's restock, they will be starting to roll out their fall fragrances. So this fragrance will not be back this summer. However, I did still want to document my thoughts just in case this is a fragrance that makes a return in the summer of 2026, because this is a good one, you guys. A little bit of a spoiler alert. This is a really nice fragrance, and I thought that it would be important to share my thoughts with you again, just in case this one makes a comeback. So this is one of their standard 2-wick vessels. This is kind of like the bread and butter, I would say, of Caramel Sundays. They do also offer a 4-wick format, which I really enjoy that format as well. This size vessel retails for $31.99. That does include shipping. The larger vessels retail for $64.99. So there's a bit of a price difference. The glass vessels for this size hold, it says 22 ounces, but really there's a little bit of, I'm trying to use like the right word there. This is actually really 18 ounces of 100% soy wax. There's something that happens when the wax hardens compared to when it is liquefied. That's what is kind of the discrepancy, I would say, in like the ounces being printed. But this on their website, it says it's about 18 ounces. 100% soy wax. This is a non-toxic brand. They don't use any of the scary chemicals that a lot of us are concerned about. And that is something that I really appreciate about this small business. So let's go ahead and talk about the fragrance notes of this candle. We have top notes listed as apple, peach, red berries, mandarin. Mid notes of bananas, sugar, musk. Base note of lemon and limes. Okay, you guys, so this is an interesting fragrance because when I was first looking at the website and I was a bit intrigued by this candle, one of the things that intrigued me were just this hodgepodge of fruity fragrances. What notes were going to stand out the most? I'm here to tell you guys that it's interesting that in the top notes, there are, it says red berries. I'm going to tell you guys, to my nose, this is very much a strawberry fragrance. The strawberry note that I am picking up in here is very much in line with the strawberry note that was in their ice cream sandwiches candle, which if you heard me talk about that fragrance, that to me was like your ice cream sandwiches that you buy at the grocery store that have that like chocolate wafer and then it's Neapolitan on the inside. And in that candle review, I told you guys that like I definitely smelled the strawberry ice cream accord. Now, this is not strawberry ice cream. This is just what I am saying is the same strawberry note. This to me is definitely more in line with a sorbet, though. I've talked about how it's very interesting to me how candle companies are able to convey the texture of a type of food in the scent profile. And I will say that this fragrance does not have any kind of like lactonic creaminess that you would get in, say, like a strawberry ice cream, which is what is separating this apart. I do think that that might be due to the base notes of lemon and lime, because while this fragrance does not have an overt citrus note to my nose, I do think that that is probably something that is keeping this on maybe that like icier, almost like chilled, like a sorbet, like a chilled dessert type of vibe going on. But I'm going to say that the top note that I pick up out of this predominantly is strawberry. There is some extra sweetness in there, maybe a slight hint of creaminess, but again, not lactonic. I think the banana note in the middle is giving a little bit of that like creamy effect, like I said, like you would get in a sorbet, but there is actually no sorbet. I don't believe that there's cream in sorbet. I don't think that there is. Sorry, you guys, I'm filming outside and I hope my mic is cutting out the train coming through town. But anyways, if not, enjoy that sound. But yeah, the banana note in here is lending a little bit of, this one's just, it's hard to describe like if you've never had sorbet, but if you know what I'm talking about, Somehow this makes me think of the texture of sorbet when I am smelling this. This is not a popsicle. This is not an ice cream. It's just a smooth sorbet type of scent. It's really nice. But yeah, the red berries note that I'm picking up is definitely strawberry. And I'm not mad at it. You guys know that strawberry is a fragrance note that I can take or leave. It's not something that I typically will always gravitate towards. Although this year I've tried a lot more strawberry fragrances. I think I've tried more this year than I ever have before. Um, but yeah, you guys, this is a really nice fragrance. The apple, the peach, nothing really screams apple or peach to me in this fragrance. Maybe a little bit of it, but they are not, they're like supporting characters. I would say strawberry is still the dominant note. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. So at the time that I'm filming this, I have had this candle burning for a little over 3 hours now. You can see that the wicks are, they're doing well. I have noted on a lot of Caramel Sundays fragrances that I typically like to trim the wicks after about 3 hours of burn time. I use a wick dipper to extinguish the wicks, and then I will trim them. Now, you do not want to trim your wicks too short. I have had a couple of Caramel Sundays candles I would say like in the past, meaning like 5 months ago, maybe, that had that I felt like I trimmed the wicks a little bit too aggressively, and they kind of struggled to recover from that. So I would encourage you, don't be too aggressive in your wick trimming. But so far, you guys can see a pretty clean burn. The design of the vessel, how it goes in like that, is designed to catch extra soot. Goodness, I can't get my words out today. Extra soot. I find that these candles, I don't really get a lot of sootiness on these until they usually get down, a little bit further into the burn. Usually by the time I get like down here with the wax pool, I'll start to notice a little bit more soot. But again, I'm able to alleviate that by keeping the wicks trimmed. After every 3 hours, I'll trim and then relight if I still want to enjoy the fragrance. Strength and throw on this candle is a solid 8 for me. Now, I can't always say that for a lot of the Caramel Sundays 2X. I know that there's been a lot of chatter, since this brand has kind of come on a lot of people's radars. Some people are saying like, yeah, their candles just don't perform well in my space. I've always maintained the position that I really think that it comes down to the fragrance profile, how much strength and throw you're going to get from a candle. And that's not just with Caramel Sundays, that is across all brands. I find particularly in soy wax has to get very hot in order for it to start releasing fragrance. There are a few fragrances. I'm thinking of like Kringle's Jelly Donut, for example, that I start smelling it within, 15 minutes of lighting it. This is one of those fragrances, though, that I will tell you that I usually smell this one within the first 20 minutes of lighting it. It doesn't really have to get super hot for me to start smelling the throw on this one. This one's pretty good. And it's not even just the throw, because the throw is how far away you can smell the fragrance. It's the intensity of it too. This one is pretty intense, not headache inducing intense, but it's definitely not a faint fragrance. It is one that will overtake if you are burning any other candles like in the same room. I could see this one definitely overtaking it. It's a strong performer for me, which I'm happy to see in a 2-wick, because I know a lot of people say like the 4-wick ones are not always within their budget. I've had success with most of my 4-wick candles from Caramel Sundays, but even then, you guys, I've had some that are a little bit lighter than others. And like I said, I think that just goes back to the fragrance profile and the wax formula. I find that this brand, for me personally, performs very similarly to Kringle candles, which is also a 100% soy wax formula. And they also formulate their products, I would say, like in the same, like, they don't use like a lot of the toxic, or they don't use a lot of the cheap stuff, in a lot of their candle making. So I do find that the performance tends to be pretty similar. But overall, you guys, if this fragrance does make a comeback, if you like strawberry sorbet type of fragrance. But again, it's not, I would say strawberry is the most dominant note, but it's not the only fruit note. This is definitely a really delicious, fruity summer fragrance. If this one makes a comeback, I would definitely give it 2 thumbs up in this 2-wick format, because it is performing quite well. This is one that I'm not sure that I would feel the need to repurchase it, just again, because I don't want to say hit or miss. just kind of in the middle. I feel meh usually about strawberry fragrances, but like I do enjoy a good strawberry fragrance. I just usually don't feel the need to buy them on repeat. Not like I feel like towards like say coconut or something like that. But this is a really enjoyable fragrance. I won't be decluttering this one. I will burn this one all the way through. This currently is pairing really nicely with Kringle Candles Cherry Crumble. That's one that I'm burning with. I could see this also pairing nicely with a couple of other like banana fragrances, maybe some coconut. I feel like this one is kind of versatile. I've also been burning it with their Kringle's Blueberry Milkshake. So just a nice fruity fragrance if you really enjoy that. So anyways, you guys, let me know in the comment box down below if you purchased this candle during the May restock. I believe that this candle was probably poured somewhere into early or middle of May. But like I said, now we're getting into the fall. They're getting ready to launch their fall lineup, and oh my goodness, I am so excited. I should have my video up for you guys probably in about a week. I will have that up for you guys, my Caramel Sundays June restock preview video and what is on my wish list. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.